Right. So, hello, if you're watching on YouTube after this has already been recorded. Caleb, I see you there. This message isn't for you. But if you're watching the recording, we're going to be having group meditation today. So, you can move to the 10-minute mark, and that is around when we will officially get started if you're watching the recording. Hi there, Caleb. Is that the correct way to say your name? If you're speaking, cannot hear you.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, it's Caleb.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have video at the moment. It feels a little impersonal.
Well, we strive for to be as personally impersonal as is possible here, and this is so one of the great qualities of this space is that we do have such a intimate and personal community. So stick around, and when it works out, then you can share. So how long have you been practicing for, Caleb?
I would say 4 or 5 years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I was doing purely concentration for about a year, which was honestly as productive as you would imagine. Although I will say that I did experience some fruits, like the pleasant mind that arises. That's always good. But I'd say my practice really began about a year after that,
Great.
mostly reading.
Okay. Hello, Karan, Angara, Astro, Johnny. How's everyone doing today?
Good, good, really. No, I'm grateful. Thank you. Good. How are you doing, Bante?
I'm doing well. Yesterday was personal practice day, so I was more focused inwardly, and that was quite nice. Um, so I feel good now.
How are the puppies doing?
They're good. They're growing and getting fatter and nicer, and yeah, it's great. They're definitely growing.
Are you raising them to uh, adopt them away, I suppose?
No, uh, they are. They were found in a garbage can by two residents of the temple, two people who are living here at the monastery. And so they were brought back here to the monastery and are in the process of getting big enough and strong enough to wander around more independently. But um, they're mainly in the care of the two residents who are staying here from Germany. Okay, I'm seeing some familiar faces joining in here. Anna and Bebin, Cliff, Jaden, C, Stacy, Tuna, Chino, Julian. Welcome all. And hello, Ricky. Okay, enjoy. So please make sure your microphone is muted unless you want to speak. Thank you, Julian.
Yes, sorry, I'm already.
Hello, Lick. So we'll wait a few more minutes for people to join in. And everyone is encouraged to share their cameras if it's convenient, if it's comfortable for you. Oh, hey there, Famo. Glad that you're here. And welcome, Sana. Hi there, Robert.
Hello.
Sounds like some nice birds where you are.
Yep, I'm in Florida right now, and there's a whole bunch of birds and there's a pond nearby. It's beautiful.
Okay. And Sarah over on YouTube, also from Florida. I was staying in Florida for a while at a temple in Jacksonville, a Vietnamese temple. It's a very nice place. So we are gathered here today at this moment. Somehow we find ourselves here. And the reason for that is to practice meditation. So we can think of meditation as a place to totally lay down our burdens, to totally put down and lay down our complicated thinking, our past, our future, everything up to this point that has been experienced, everything that we expect to experience, anything that we are worried about or concerned about. Meditation is this time to put all of that down. But it's easier said than done. Meditation is not to fall asleep. It's not to eat. It's not to watch a movie. But it's a very present, very attentive, very alive activity. We can see meditation almost as a becoming big enough to touch the sun with our finger. We grow, we become more and more embodied by bringing our full attention, our full awareness, our full all of our life to right here, right now. Usually this present is very small. And we're in this kind of small-minded situation where we're worried about this, we're worried about that, we've got to go do this, we've got to go do that, in this constant movement, this constant struggle. And so as we practice meditation, we put all that down. So firstly, we find a comfortable position for the body. And as we find that comfortable position, we can also find our intention to meditate. So why is it that we want to meditate? Why is it that we are really here? And as we set the body down, as we adjust our posture, and we find a comfortable upright position, we can also set that intention into our body. Putting the body down. And it's through our intention to practice, our intention to go inward, that we put the body down. If our intention is to eat ice cream, well then we're going to need to use the body to do that. So the intention here is to meditate, not to eat ice cream. So we put the body down. We find that comfortable, stable position. Finding our meditation position, we can close our eyes. Begin to take a few deep breaths. As we breathe in deeply, we bring the mind home to the body. We bring our attention, our focus, our awareness home to the body. Rather than using the body for some purpose, rather than being involved in an idea about our body, an idea about our body in the world or our body in the environment. Taking these few deep breaths, we begin to become aware of the body, aware of the presence of the body as it is right now, sitting here. You don't need to expect anything in meditation. If you have expectations, you're going to give up very quickly, because you notice that becoming aware of the body isn't being in a jacuzzi on a mountain. Becoming aware of the body isn't opening your third eye and feeling all of your chakras explode and release. It's a very direct, intimate experience, and it's an experience that is not particularly satisfactory. Perhaps not very pleasurable, and that's okay. That's meditation. That's what we're doing here. So as we start to turn our mind inward, the deep breaths can help us to bring the mind inside. And start to allow the breath to find a natural rhythm. So the breath flowing in and flowing out. Being aware of the breath as it flows into the body and flows out. So instead of constant activity or movement, sitting down, and allowing the process of breathing to happen. Just allowing the breath to flow in and out. As the breath is flowing in and out, letting gravity do its work. So our body becomes more and more solid, more and more connected to whatever we're sitting on, whatever position we're sitting in. As we are breathing naturally, any tensions or tightness in the body relaxing and being accepted. No struggle, no conflict. Exploring, experiencing only. The breath flowing in and out. Whatever we feel, whatever happens, we experience it as it is. That is exactly our meditation. And we do that by staying close with our meditation method. We stay close to the breath flowing in and flowing out. We stay close to the body sitting here relatively still. It's not that thoughts stop or that sensations in the body stop. It's simply a manner of our reactivity stopping, our involvement stopping. We are fully aware, fully present, but only involved with the breath flowing in and out. Being with the body. Being with the mind. Just breathing and being aware. We are touching and realizing very clearly, very directly, this natural ability to be still, this natural ability to be in a state of non-reactivity. The mind settles and relaxes. The body stills and stabilizes. We practice like this with our meditation method. It's not a vague activity. And it's not a goal-based exercise. Each moment, each difficulty, each distraction just breathing and being aware. To reset the ego, to reset the self. Some errors, some conflict, things just seem to not be working right. At that moment, to reset, to restart, to refresh. Simply return back to the breath. The feeling of the breath as it flows in and out. Just breathing and being aware. as we practice the meditation method, there is also this sense to know that we are practicing the meditation method. That is, there's no story, idea, relationship that you have with other people, future worry, or past difficulties, mistakes that are more true, more relevant than this practice, than what you are doing right now. And as we practice and as we know that we are practicing, that is very clear. So to practice just breathing, following the breath as it flows in and out, and to know that you are practicing. Although we may become distracted, although we may find ourselves in great difficulty or great confusion, we return back. We come home to the present, to this non-judgmental awareness. We do so with our meditation method. And as we practice like this over time, we learn through experience that coming home is our nature. Coming back to the present is always possible, always accessible. Just breathing and being aware. letting go completely, putting down continuously. Don't get stuck. Don't give up. Just notice. Get distracted. Encounter difficulty. Return back to the breath. Just breathing and being aware. Right now, there's no need to add anything. There's no need to take away anything. Center to center, heart to heart with your life at this moment, through the practice of just breathing, just being aware. Any sound or feeling, unimportant. Just another reminder to return to breathing and being aware. And if there is something persistent, something difficult or very pleasant, don't be shy to look into it deeply, to be with it fully. We tend to think that meditation is this non-interrupted, peaceful, spiritual state by the beach. But in fact, meditation is the practice of experiencing our reactivity and not getting involved in it. Returning to just breathing, just being aware. So at this time, we can start to slowly move our bodies, start to stretch. We can massage our face and our head. So we want to have a meditation method that we can bring into all aspects of our life. Some people, they have maybe a meditation method of breathing heavily, or they need to do yoga, they need to do something like that. But when we have as our meditation method awareness of the body, awareness of breathing, we're able to bring that practice into any moment, any activity of our life. We take a shower, we're practicing our meditation method. We drive a car, we're practicing our meditation method. We're at the line in the supermarket or searching through Amazon on our phone. We can practice the meditation method. It's direct, it's accessible, it's simple, we understand it. Instead of relying on the complicated thinking, instead of relying on past and future, instead of relying on our desires and our fears, we can rely on the meditation method, okay? And it's this constant access point to the Buddha mind, to the peace mind, to the transformation of suffering, just through this very, very simple practice. So today is Wednesday, and yesterday was Tuesday. So here at the temple, that means a personal practice day. And what we've been doing in the schedule, right now, the schedule that we have here in the Discord and with our community is every day at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. New York time. meeting together for meditation practice and study of teachings, Buddhist philosophy teachings, wisdom teachings. But on Tuesday, yesterday, there's no facilitated practice. So some people do meet together to practice, but there's no formal group practice going on. So on this day, I'd like to give the opportunity, the space, for people to share either one of two things or both. What does personal practice mean to you? And what was your practice yesterday? What did you do yesterday for your practice? So you can answer either one. And so we do this as a practice of sharing, of generosity. So we share what our personal practice is, what that means to us, and it can inspire other people, it can inform other people who are here. And then we can also speak very practically about what our personal practice was yesterday. Okay, and for everyone else, we just do practice deep listening as people share, or we listen deeply to the silence. So anyone like to volunteer?
Sure, I'll go. So I guess what personal practice means to me is cultivating a sense of gratitude. It's always gratitude fundamentally first, because happiness is such an airy concept, but I always know gratitude is something that I start the day with, and I practice that in a way. I send out 10 things to someone that I'm grateful for in that day, and that helps ground me. And moving to yesterday, when I jumped on Discord sort of around the same time, and just focus on the breath, just sort of listen to myself and listen to my breathing, and yeah, just personally sharing. I've been meditating outside of a sangha or a group for 10 years just on my own, and just within the 3 or so days I've been meditating alongside you guys, I've made so much progress just in terms of mentally, just listening to wisdom talks and listening to yourself on YouTube, and just listening to the book you've been going through as well, and catching up on those sessions. And it's just fundamentally, it's been so transformative, because I don't have to listen to that movie that's playing in my head. I can cultivate that detachment. The way I liken it is like you're watching a screen of your thoughts, and you can see the crack in the glass. You see that detachment. You realize, oh, I'm watching a screen in my mind. It's not actually thoughts, it's thinking. So I don't have to keep believing that delusion that my thoughts are actually reality. I can see the crack and go, oh wait, these are just my thoughts. I can detach from them, or I try to, and that's, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Karan. I would just add, just for clarification on your end, that thoughts are real, but they are really impermanent. So, so that's why we don't need to get so involved with them or be in a state of belief about them, because their reality is just impermanence. Okay, thank you, Karan. And once someone shares, we can bow to them, and the person who shares can also bow. So we express our appreciation for their generosity. You can also write a message in the voice text, and I'll read it if you can't use your voice.
I don't mind sharing if that's okay.
Okay, Caleb, go ahead.
My practice yesterday, or I would say, I guess the question was personal practice and what that means to me. I believe that was the question. Well, personal practice is sort of observing your intentions. It's about observing what you're bringing to the situation, whatever that situation may be. I feel like we have various attachments to different outcomes. And it's almost like putting our happiness, like betting our happiness on some desirable outcome. And so I find in my practice yesterday, for example, I have been seeing how I move through my day, noticing my intentions, and noticing when things kind of fall short of my expectations, and observing the thoughts and feelings that arise as a result. And it's actually been very illuminating for me, because these mental states, these hindrances, aren't just a hindrance to my happiness in the moment, but they're almost like missed opportunities to cultivate more wholesome states, I suppose. And another thing is, I guess, if you don't mind, I've been sort of practicing metta as the basis of my practice, something that's been missing, I think, from my life, honestly. And so as I move through, as I go on walks and stuff like that, I will try to kind of cultivate a feeling of metta and sending that metta toward people that I see. And I find that kind of breaks down like this natural barrier that I have. Um, like I might hear a car and I might think, oh man, this car is just like so loud. It's going down the road, everybody's honking and going crazy. But it's actually an opportunity to kind of break down that barrier, that natural resistance that I have anyway to that. And that's sort of another example of putting or personal practice. So that's all I got.
Thank you. So I'll read two messages from Sela and C. They wrote in the voice text. Sela said, I spent yesterday and today catching up on your readings on YouTube. Wonderful. Thank you, Sela. And C says, my personal practice has been to use formal meditation methods with regularity and to allow that to flow over into my informal practice so that it is something that is always happening. My informal practice is to ask myself, is this happening? And to feel for the answer in as many moments as possible. For my formal practice yesterday, I did alternate nostril breathing, accompanied with asking, what am I? As well as letting something go that I'm attached and to feel for the answer or result. Okay. Thank you, C. Anyone else like to share about their personal practice yesterday or what personal practice means to them in general?
Yes, actually, I would like to share. Hello, everyone. So as a preface, I tend to be very unlikely to practice when I'm at home alone because I tend to, I don't know, eat or get distracted by internet stuff and whatever. But what helps me, for example, is when I have to take the train to work, like 5 days a week for like half an hour, and just looking outside the window and observing what you see without trying to push your opinion of it on it. But sometimes it's kind of tricky. Sometimes you think that you're that you are practicing, but actually your mind is tricking you into thinking that you are practicing, which is entertaining and annoying at times. And the other thing that I try to do at work when I do something repetitive or something where I already have a strong habit, so I know what to do and I don't have to think so much about it, just to observe your breath and just do the thing instead of thinking about doing the thing, I guess. Just being aware and observing yourself and what you're doing. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Thank you, Julian.
You're welcome.
I see a message here from Famo that I'll read. Personal practice for me is my commitment, what I am willing to do in my cultivation. Yesterday, I did my daily recitation of sutras, Heart Sutra and Diamond Sutra, practicing mindfulness and regular activities, and did some short sitting meditation session. Short sitting meditation. Thank you. Thank you, Famo.
Yesterday I tried something new. I have the opportunity to use regularly a sauna. So I tried my evening meditation there. And firstly, it was comfortable. Then it was hard because of the heat. To focus on breathing, it really forced me to be aware of how I was breathing because oxygenation was a little harder. And then it was even harder because some ladies came into the sauna and started chit chatting. But I think it was a great opportunity to focus and to concentrate and to really let go and to remind me that whatever was around me in that moment was not my business. Yeah, that was my evening practice, and at morning I meditated as always. Yeah, and so I wanted to share that.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, so I see Sana is typing, so maybe Sana will share something here. So we'll maybe have one final sharing, and then we will finish by taking the 5 precepts. So taking the 5 precepts means that we kind of make a commitment as a community to follow these 5 guidelines for a virtuous life, for living skillfully. So those 5 precepts are not killing, not stealing, being very careful with our sexuality, so not committing any sexual misconduct, not speaking harshly or telling lies, so no rough speech and no telling lies, and then also to not take any drugs or intoxicants for the purpose of getting drunk or getting high. something like that. So we have two final sharings, and then we'll take the precepts together. All right, so Sana says, my personal practice is to be sitting, focusing on my breathing, while my son is running around wild in the house. That is very challenging at times. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you, Sana. And we can all thank your son as well for being such a great teacher. Running wild like that can be a really great guide for our practice. And Stacy shares, my personal practice has been yoga most of the time, but as you said, being in the now is the meditation and can be done anywhere. And that's what I have been doing the past few weeks. Living in the past and worrying about the future have given me so much grief. And thinking in the now has helped me a lot. Last night I practiced your previous YouTube meditation. Okay, wonderful. So thank you, Stacy, for your sharing. Thank you for your practice. So how we do the precepts is that basically we can bring our hands together, and I will say the precept, and then you repeat after me. And then at the very end, we'll say sadhu together 3 times. And it's really that we are making this promise to follow these ethical guidelines, these virtuous guidelines for living. Okay, so you can repeat after me if you like to join, if you like to take these precepts and make this promise to ourselves and to the community. I observe the precept to not kill any living beings. I observe the precept to not steal or take anything that is not offered. I observe the precept to not cause any harm with my sexual conduct. I observe the precept to not tell lies or speak harshly. I observe the precept to not take any drugs or intoxicants. Making the promise to follow these 5 precepts, may your mind and body be protected, may your practice flourish, may peace and happiness be established in your life, may you share that peace and happiness with others. We'll now say sadhu together 3 times. Sadhu. 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 We can bow. Okay, dear friends, thank you for joining. Thank you for your practice and for showing up here so often. I know it inspires me and it inspires other people as well. So, see you again soon. Bye bye. Yes.
You know this? Remember, I was chewing some.
Licorice.
Yeah.
Oh,
You like this?
okay, sure.
I think Marisol brought it.
Oh,
But since it looked like medicine, nobody is taking
oh,
it.
oh.
You know where it is, like in the kitchen. You like it or not? Too much.
I know it tastes like medicine.
Yeah, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.